unemployment report. Yeah, it's all coming out in 2 minutes. Yeah, we got 40 seconds. Okay, I did. Oh yeah, I did. Morning, guys. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. That's right. Busy bee. Alright, let's see what they're gonna do here. Oh my god, the green ticking. Initial reaction flat here. Morning, guys. Welcome in. We'll get
All right.
started soon.
Morning, everybody. Data is out, Rav. You see it?
I am, yeah. I'm watching a spy here. I think nothing's happening so far. I just tested my bounce area I had, and we're up in right now. It's like 648.50. Um,
I'm getting the data in front of me.
oh yeah, it's going up. Yeah, yep, you can tell.
Wow, non-farm payrolls, 22K versus estimate 75,000. That's insane. U.S. average hourly earnings 0.3 versus 0.3 at expectations. Unemployment rate 4.3 versus 4.3, but non-farm significantly lower
God
than
damn.
expectations. That's huge.
Dude, Fed will just cut rates and they'll just say that they'll just blame this. That's it. Dude, it's playing out perfectly for Fed. I said rally until Fed and then rates cut, we crash. What a
Wow, wow,
scam.
wow.
What a scam. Wow.
All right, so guys, welcome in. Happy Friday.
Fucking nuts. Yeah. Happy Friday, guys. Morning. There's 300 of you watching. I need 500 likes. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, guys, and we'll get started. Brett, you want to start with the data?
All right. 8:32. We'll get started in like 30 seconds. Welcome in. How's everybody doing? Where's the energy, guys?
Where's the energy? Everyone's already calling it a week. It's not a bad idea, but I think I'm going to be a degen today because I took my rest yesterday.
As long as the market's open, we're trading.
Oh
Welcome
man,
in, everybody. Happy, someone said Merry Christmas. I think you're a few months
dude.
early, man.
No, don't. I don't want that kind of energy. It just, I'm already feeling post-summer depression.
It's getting too cold in New York, too. It is
Mo-
getting too cold here. All right, let's jump into it. Rav, ready?
Yep, ready. Let's go.
So, this morning, guys, 500 people in here this morning off the gate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to humbly ask for you guys to like the stream right before I get started. In fact, we should wait until we get to 300 likes to get started. Let's wait till we get to 300 and then we'll get started. That's
Brett
what we'll
used
do.
the Brett used the word humbly, so that's an inside joke.
Yeah. 300
Oh my god.
likes. and then we'll jump ahead and get started. That's a good benchmark today.
And there's also the
I
subscribe button, guys. I'm close to 8K, so hopefully after this stream I'll get there.
Rav, I feel like on your stream I look funny, man. Look at my camera. It looks like I'm scrunched up.
I mean, someone made they gave a feedback saying that they want to see more of the chart and less of us. They don't want to see our mugs. They don't want to see our face.
I know, but I'm saying I think you like resize my thing. I think you like you like literally resize it in one dimension rather than like
Oh, did
I don't
I?
know what he did. Yeah, he's definitely. I'm squished right now, man. I look like a string bean.
Don't worry, you're pretty. Guys, tell everyone Brett looks pretty. He's
Thank
pretty.
you. All
Yeah.
right, that's 300. Guys, let's jump into it. So, today is Friday, September 5th. You guys are all here this morning. It's 8:34 in the morning. We have some big data that had just come out. Okay, there was some rumors that the data was not going to be released. Looks like that was BS. The data is released, and we're seeing the data right in front of us. The data is as follows. Okay, today, Friday, September 5th, we had a series of unemployment situation data. In this data, it's a series of data. We had the non-farm payrolls, which was the most important metric this go around, came in at 22,000 versus the estimate of 75,000. So pretty sharp decrease in non-farm payrolls, and the market is reacting to that right now in the pre-market session. Besides that, we also have everything else pretty much at expectations. Labor participation rate, right, was 62.3 versus 62.2, so nothing different there. You had average hourly earnings the same, and you had the unemployment rate also as expected, 4.3 versus 4.3. So everything mostly at expectations except for the elephant in the room, which is non-farm payrolls, a lot lower than forecasted, and the market obviously is reacting to that right now. In terms of next week, I want to dive in just for a second because next week is also important. Next week, starting off with, if Rav, I'm not sure if you have it on your screen.
I do, I
There it
do.
is. Yep. So Wednesday, September 10th, we start off with PPI, core PPI, so the producer price index. And then Thursday, the 11th, we have more inflation data, CPI, and that's pretty much what all of next week is about. It's just more inflation data, and that's just it. Okay, so that being said, I think we can dive into our charts today because there's not much else on the docket. We can spend most of our time today just going over charts.
Yep. As for SPY, guys, let me just quickly start with that. I mean, every indicator in the market. So if you guys remember, the start of the week, we said that QQQ was a little like weak, right? QQQ is weak. QQQ is selling off a lot more. It's leading the market, and we all thought that that is a sign that market's going to completely reverse. But there was a situation when all of the tech names hit demand and slowly started basing. Good names including Meta, Tesla, Apple, what else? Google. Most of the names started getting catalyst and they started basing and reversing. And then the market flipped. QQQ started leading, and SPY started becoming a little weak as other sectors started getting earnings and whatnot. And today, you guys see this last 2 days. Initially, we sold, dipped on the pre-market low, and then ripped and trended the whole day. 2 days of trending, and today we had the biggest break with a lot of catalyst on individual names as well as or economic data. So market's breaking out right here. Now maybe this is the last hurrah before we top out. We don't know that yet. But tech is still strong now. Tech is going. A lot of names are under squeeze risk right now again. So we gotta wait and see what happens today. So as for levels, you guys can see I had that. This is my bounce level. Honestly, to be honest, pre-market I had 3 levels. The first level was here, 648.50, and we just kind of picked off of that, and we're breaking out right here. Um, so really, we lost the bounce level at the open here. So if any sign of a retest, I can't take it here. I'll probably take it at the 647.50, and if we lose that, 646.50. If we end up breaking under 650, we're going to see a test there. Okay, at this point, Brad, I don't know if you'll agree to this or not. I don't know if at this point, if we go up and break out 6452, 653, and then we lose 650, I don't know if I'll long that. Okay, if we lose 650, I'm going to start thinking about charts. Even if I don't chart SPY, I'll look at individual setups. That's what I'll do. But if we do hold 650, I'm not going to touch any shorts today. Okay, I'm not going to touch any shorts as long as 650 holds. And maybe individual names will show different kind of setups. Maybe Nvidia will play differently. Maybe AMD will play differently. But for SPY, above 650, no shots. below 650 shots. This is my simple bias for the day today. I'm not going to complicate it, and on a Friday. But do you want to add anything?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yesterday, here's the thing, okay? So, I want to say it's very important is if you go to the 5 minute time frame on SPY Rav and you look at the intraday price action, okay? So, remember yesterday we talked about the bull bear pivot being what level? It was 644. In the market at open around 9:30 in the morning, we opened above that 644. We pulled back right to that 644 demand, and we formed a demand at 644. Okay, obviously we had demand there first, and we formed a base there intraday, reversing off 644. That was our bull bear pivot yesterday, right? And we opened above it, which was bullish, and we spoke about that pre-market. And for me personally, I'll tell you this, right? I didn't trade SPY yesterday. I mean, it is hard to trade SPY like this when it's happening real time. In hindsight, you can look at this chart and you can see literally we just held demand and this was an easy trade, but it really wasn't because we held demand and just grinded higher after holding demand after one tap and then just ripped into 647. And I wouldn't even call it a rip. I would call it more of a zombie grind higher, basically into just every resistance level, breaking above it and seeing more continuation into close. We closed around 650 yesterday. So yesterday's price action was a little bit slow at first. And you look at it in hindsight, actually looks quite nice, but during real trading hours was not the easiest trade to get behind. Now, looking at this now, we are bullish. Obviously, we're bullish and we're bullish from yesterday because of the move that we held at 644 yesterday. But you have to look back today to see what have we done previously at all-time highs. And if you look back to Thursday, the 28th of August, which was the last time we produced an all-time high in the market in the S&P, and you just go and see, okay, what did we do around that August 28th level? What did we do around that 650? Well, we rejected off of it, right? So the last few times that we've tapped all-time highs and see them break above all-time highs, right? Little bits of peaks and fades of all-time highs, we tend to fade it, okay? And the issue with these fades is that when you start fading under our support zone, and in this case, it's 650 today, you don't really see a large set of buyers until 643, 640, right? So what Rav is saying is, yeah, sure, the market's open bullish today. Everyone can see it on paper. This is fully bullish, and I agree, this is fully bullish. But we're bullish because of something. We're bullish this morning because we're above 650. If you see us fail below 650, then we could actually see a nice short play, a nice sell day back into 647, back into 643, like we've seen the last 2 times in a row. So historically, we see these pop and fades, a peak above, a look above, a fade below. Now we're seeing the same thing again, but right now we're sustaining over 650. So there's no shorts right now over 650. But if you do see us begin to fade here on this buy chart, then it could potentially turn into a short side day going into our Friday session or even our Monday of next week session, and we can look for the move down lower on SPY. My demand zones on SPY is 647 on the S&P and 643. That's all I have today on the demand side, and obviously 650, which we were opening right at in the pre-market session. That's all I have today here on the SPY chart. What about ES, Brev?
Yeah, just one more thing to add. I mean, the thing is, they're trying to trap people. They're not letting anyone commit. So anyone that committed around 640 for longs, they are sitting and chilling. They don't really care. They're probably having trailing stops and they're chilling. But anyone's that shorting all these previous swing highs, these highs here, you know, the rhetoric. I mean, I wouldn't blame anyone at this point. We've pretty much made a big move. The data coming out, everything looks super bearish, right? But the market's still ignoring all of that and going, and that in itself is a sign of bullishness. But eventually, the bubble will pop, right? There will be a correction, and one side will get caught big time, and we're at that point right now. Okay, they're still trying to show like wicks and failures and all of that off of these highs to get people in. Today's session is going to be super important. I know it's a Friday. We probably expect choppy price action, but I'm not expecting that. I think we're going to see something crazy today, considering it's a Friday. So be safe today when you're trading. Follow levels, keep your stops tight, and after the first hour, I think we'll get a clear indication of what they're trying to do.
Right.
I'm going to ES right now. And speaking of
Exactly.
yesterday's session, to be honest, it's because of the divergence. That's why it's difficult, right? Many names, for example, like Nvidia was weak, Tesla was weak at the open. Tesla was actually weak, pretty weak throughout the whole day, and whereas some names were like super strong. And because of the divergence, even if some name was weak, market ticks higher, this thing catches up, and weakest name turns strong, and that becomes a squeeze. And that's the danger the market's in right now. A lot of these names are now doing pretty well, and it's becoming dangerous. I'm on the ES chart right now. 6500 was the demand I had on ES. Again, we are waking off of that. The other zones I have is 40, 6490, and then 6466, which is yesterday's level, where we bounced off of. That's pretty much what I have, Brett, for today for
Yeah.
demands. Nothing else, nothing crazy.
That's
What
what it
happened?
is today. It's so it's like if you want the most clarity today on the market, okay, the two levels to have in your chart. These are the two most important levels on the ES chart, and I think on any chart this morning. It is 6500 ES. It is 6530 ES. If you see a sustain over 6530 today, we're just going to see a PDM zombie grind move. That's just what's going to happen today. If you sustain price over 6530 ES, which is a pre-market high, it is also almost the highs of that August 28th highs. Okay, it's around 65.20. But again, same ballpark, about $10 away here in ES. So it's the same zone for me. But if you sustain price over 65.30, you're just going to see a zombie grind into the next big level, which is probably going to be 6600 ES. That's the next massive a strike on SPY. So 6600 ES is where we're going to above that 65.30. But if you see us fail below 65 today, then there is a short play today, and we can look for shorts all the way down into 64.60. So I think this morning, like yesterday, we said yesterday we were opening bullish. We opened bullish. We found support at the support zone we talked about. We rallied higher. Same thing with ES, same thing with SPY. All the whole market did the same thing yesterday. Now today's session, we're opening again above a new set of demand, which is 6,500. It was supply, now is demand. And if we are sustaining over 65, we're still bullish, and we can look for longs above 65.30. If we fail below 6,500 ES, that for me is the best possible short. I know it's a little discrepant there because I said SPY 650 and I'm saying ES 6,500. So which one is it? Because they don't line up perfectly. In my opinion, I would put more emphasis on the ES 6,500 level. That to me is the most important thing this session. So if we are sustaining 6,500 ES, be careful on shorts. Even if we are like 649.9 on SPY, I don't care, right? I want to see 6,500 ES fail. If that fails, then I think we can sustain lower. And if you just look back at the 15-minute time frame on ES, look to see how we react. What happens over 65 here in ES tends to be a pop and fade, a pop and fade, a pop and fade. Today's session, I'm not saying we'll see a pop and fade, but I am saying let's be prepared for it if it does happen, which would be confirmed by a 6,500 failure. Okay,
Yeah.
but of course, as of right now, let's not be bearish right now because we're above this level, right? So we know what our triggers are: 6,500 ES, 6,530 ES. Rav, what
My,
about Qs? I think you'll probably
yeah.
uh, see that as well. It's a little bit of discrepant between
Yeah.
SPY and QQQ.
Yeah, the biggest problem with the market the last few days is all the rejects that happened were like clear and super obvious and elementary level, pre-market high, all of these obvious levels, and that's why we never got any crazy moves. We just like rejected, have a 1 or 2 point drop, and then we rip in. We need to get someone absolutely screwed for us to get a big move, and I don't know if it's going to be a catalyst. I don't know if it's going to be some data that's not happened yet. No one's getting scared. No bull is scared right now. Bears are probably scared. No bull is scared right now. So don't go in with a bias today's session. As for QQQ, I mean QQQ is still lagging. We still haven't broken all-time high yet, but we're getting there. We're approaching this 580 level. I don't know if you guys can see this. This is a key inflection point from I believe it was last Friday, right? Yeah, last Friday we chopped, and we kind of set the high there. So if we take this out, all of these sellers here are again under pressure. And QQQ, you guys know, it's can easily move a lot of dollars. So we're literally $2 or $3 away from all-time high break on Qs. And this
Yeah,
thing is building momentum. At the open, if Nvidia or AMD, they're weak right now, they wake up, this is gone. It's probably going to find 90 plus.
yeah. But that's the
Um,
thing. What Rav is saying is there's still a clear discrepancy between SPY and Qs. I mean, Qs are not at all-time highs. SPY is at all-time high plus, and that was and the QQ is well under it, right? We're at 579.36 this morning here in the Qs.
yeah.
All-time high on the QQ is 583.15. So we're still well below all-time highs. We still have about $3 upside potential here on the QQQ. Now the question is, do we see it, right? And I think the biggest thing today that we'll be looking at, we'll spend a lot of time on, is what the chips do. Because if you start seeing Nvidia, AMD, SMH, Avgo participate in upside, you may see the sustained move on the market. You may see 6,600 ES. You may see 583 plus on Qs, and that we could be just a beautiful home run rally into our Friday session. So I think that you play. play some focus on Qs today because if we are above that 578 today in Qs, we are going to see 580 plus. We're going to see 583. If you see us fail below that 575, that level from yesterday's session, then we're going to sustain lower back into 570. So again, I think today's session it's important to come in without a bias.
Uh,
I mean, obviously, like if you're leaning towards one direction, it's obviously bullish, but I just be open to both sides today because if you do see us fail below levels under 575 today in Qs, then it's back to 570. But if you see us sustain over 578, which is what we're seeing right now here on the QQQ, then we're going to go higher to 580 plus. So that's what I'm seeing today in Qs. Obviously weaker than SPY, but still maintaining demand. So let's see what happens here on the QQQ. Okay.
yeah. Yep. All right, let's look at some charts here. Let's look at Apple first. Guys, hit the like and subscribe button, guys. Help me out. We're close to 1,000. I need 2,000 likes. Even though 1,000 viewers are here, I need 2,000 likes. Let's get the likes. Let's get the subscribe.
That's diabolical. I remember guys we were making fun of Rab the other day about that. He was on the stream with like 800 viewers and he said let's get to 1,000 likes. Oh man.
Hey, get your cousin to come like it. What are you
Yeah.
doing? Come on. Anyway, guys, Apple. I love this chart. The reason why I love this chart is you guys know they've been painting a lot of weaknesses in Apple. If you guys remember from last week, I tried shorting here. You saw a little bit of a trend flip here, but then I think they had a catalyst or something, and then they just like bought that up and kind of screwed every shot that did here. And then what did they do? They kept bouncing off of the same level while slowly trending up, and now they are breaking out. Now this inversion candle here, if you guys can see this on the 1 hour, let me switch to the 4 hour so you guys can see it a little clearer, right? This area here where they popped it, they inverted it, and then fetched demand and ripped it higher. Super key, and now they are again trying to uh, break out here. Okay, so there's a key level here at 240. So 240 breaks and clears and holds. Maybe we see one or two deltas. This is a day trade potentially for us, especially if we can get a nice entry on a retest. But if they do invert this 4 hour candle, I think this would be the trend flip here. So what I'm waiting for is this level, 236.5. If they clear this, I will go short. Okay, 236.5 on Apple. They have to hold. Market holds through the open, 240 for longs. If 240 fails, then we exit that trade. There's a potential short opportunity there. But the big short trade for me, especially if market decides to join the sell side, is 236.5. Now this is the setup. I think that will sell. Next week is the Apple event. There is a chance they could sell in the run up to that. Okay, but leaning in bullish. Okay, leaning in bullish. But if market does fail, downside levels say 236.50. Do you have anything?
Yeah, absolutely. No, honestly, like that what you just said is perfect, right? So basically, well, what did we say yesterday about Apple chart, right? We said Apple best case scenario. We traded Apple long. What was it? Wednesday session? I think Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember when we traded Apple long, but it was one of these days we traded Apple long. And then on that Thursday, we came in pre-market and we said, guys, let's let this consolidate. Okay. Yes, you can trade it long above 240, but the best case scenario, and I even threw it on my watch list. But that was kind of just like that was like a dummy thing on my watch list. I wasn't even going to trade it. Even if it broke yesterday, I was not going to trade it because yesterday Apple was in pure consolidation mode. When stocks go through big trends higher, they have to consolidate. Okay, and this is the perfect 3 day move. So if it can break today above 240, we'll see upside play back in 245. So or 242 really. Okay, 240. I shouldn't be overly optimistic because then people are going to come in on Monday session
No,
and
no,
say
no.
that we're crazy.
You're not crazy. Think about it. Yesterday, SPY was up 1%. Apple fucker didn't even participate.
Yep.
Guys, Apple, how much trillion is it? So it's not unreal for Apple to start a squeeze, right? Then run up to that next week's event. It's consolidated for a week or so. Even if you imagine the same kind of range, 234 to what, $246 range, you can
Right.
probably see 245, 246 if market really gets going. Maybe
Right.
we'll see a 2% day on SPY today. It's all possible. Just don't go in with a bias thinking it can't happen because that's when they'll screw you.
I think the best thing today, and this is more important than ever, I think is try to trade directionally with trend. Okay. So like Apple, for example, I just don't like shorts unless above 240. Obviously, if it
Yep.
clears
No.
240, this is going to go to 242 plus. But the same thing, right? Remember we said like everyone probably is looking at Apple the same way this morning. Okay. Everyone's looking at Apple bullish above 240.
Yeah.
So what Rab is saying is if you do see it for whatever reason flip and go under 237, then it's a short play. So what you're going to do today on Apple, what I'm going to do on Apple today for me is chart the highs 240, chart the lows 237. Okay, clear the highs, long 240, target 242, target 245. If you fail below 237, that's a bull flag failure. Okay, shorts 237, short back into 234. So watching this today, top watch is going to be either longs with highs or shorts below lows. But either way, it's directional. I'm trading the direction it's moving in. Okay. The 5 minute intraday price action is the direction I'm trading on the option chain. Okay. So if I see it's moving up higher on the stock, I'm probably trading up longs on the call side. Okay. If I see it losing 237, I'm not trading longs anymore. I'm looking for shorts in the option chain back into 234. Okay. That's all I see in Apple, but I think we're in alignment there. What about Amazon?
Amazon, that's you. I won't even let go. It's you.
No, no, I want you to do Amazon today. I want the Rav analysis
I
here.
mean, Amazon, like you, I actually traded it for the first time in several years over here. I bought this demand area. I actually liked it moving. Okay, this area, 200 MA area, I just tried logging it around this 220 here, and I caught quite a few bits of pieces. The biggest thing here is, let me just draw a little box for you guys, is this area here. Okay, so we've tested this area a couple of times here. Right, so this by default becomes my demand area now. So anytime we test this 231, 232, that's a long for me. But flip side, if we do flip it, again, they did it once, they did it again, and if the market does fail, they'll do it again. We will come test the same area again. We'll probably drop right back into this demand. These areas here between 223 to 230 are pretty low liquidity areas. We've tapped it out already. So if the market cannot hold trend again, and Amazon does flip, this can see a big drop. But if the market can hold, this is the ultimate demand here to buy 232, 233. As long as it holds, you are bullish. And honestly, at this point, this should just break out because this is consolidated enough. They inverted this whole move here, and the second time, third time around, it should just break out. Okay, 233, 232 is my zone on Amazon for buys. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
trade this. This is all bread.
absolutely. No, no. Like I took some scalps. Like, how many of you guys traded Amazon yesterday? Did you guys trade Amazon in the chat yesterday? I'm curious. What did you guys take a little bit piece of Amazon? It was decent to be honest with you. I sold this way early. But it was the first like Tuesday session, Wednesday session, I got good trades, and then on Thursday, I just jumped out of Amazon early. Like I mean, obviously it moved higher. It was a nice long off 232. But I definitely sold this early. Obviously rallied all the way to 236 plus and change. Now today's session on Amazon is 232, right? So that was our long spot yesterday on Amazon was 232. Almost perfectly created a session low at 232 after initially breaking out the first 5 minute candle. Today's session, same thing. You don't really want to be taking, like, there's some names you take on strength, and there's some names you can take on weakness. And for me, I actually prefer taking Amazon on weakness. And I know it's weird to say that, but I like taking those retests. I like taking those 5 minute candle retests. And for me on Amazon this morning, it's 232. So if we see us fail back into 232 today, I'm looking for longs on a re-entry move back into 236. So watching that today is a 232 demand bounce. Again, for me, my main focus is probably going to be names like Apple. But if you are trading Amazon today, watch 232 because again, that's where we long yesterday, and it's where we can look for longs today. Okay. Um,
Yep.
someone said I sound louder than Mike or louder than Rav. It's because my mic is like 3 inches away from me, and I'm also yelling at you guys. I'm always yelling at you guys. So it's not his mic. It's just I get very I get very loud here. What is that?
Yeah.
Meta? Oh, here's Meta.
Uh, I don't know if you guys caught the meta yesterday. I mean, I've been like screaming the 740 area. So 724 ended up being the pivot. We consolidated and then we invest the whole move. This is how meta trades. They're inverting this player here, and I'm just gonna draw a little box here. Okay, this 755. If we clear that upside, more upside, and this time around, I think we will make a move back into this swing high here, which is 780. Now the problem is entries. Okay, so what I will tell you exactly how to execute this. Now listen up. Don't lose money on meta. All right. Initially, market, if we do get a pop, and we will get a failure. Okay. When we do get a failure, a lot of people will go short. If we do end up holding 751, 750, and we reverse and reclaim trend, that is when we take the trade. Okay, when I say reclaim trend, I'm saying a flush under VWAP, we fail, everything looks doom and gloomy, but then it doesn't sell, then it takes a reclaim, take the trade there. If you are quick on your feet, you can trade the opening break at 755. It's probably going to give you 5 deltas, 5 or 6 deltas. Okay, probably this high, whatever this candle is. 60, yeah, 7 deltas here. Okay, 5, yeah, 7 deltas. You can make that move. Contracts, they'll pump it up and then they'll reverse it. All right. I'll try to signal this today, but it's going to be kind of a crazy session. It depends on how it opens. You'll see. Okay, but the 755 is the resistance level. 751 is the support level on Meta. Downside demand for trend 745. Okay, 745 needs to hold now. I think that was my pivot yesterday. 745 area. Yeah, 745 was my pivot. 745 or 744 was my pivot yesterday. But yeah, no more consolidation. This is going to go. All right, 745 breakout level. 751 your is a must hold. But under that 745. If the market loses 745, this is a short. Okay. You want to say anything, Brett?
No, I have nothing to add there of substance on Meta. Let's move to Nvidia. I want to see
Okay.
Nvidia. So
Okay.
Nvidia,
You go,
this
Nvidia.
is this is so interesting this morning. Look at this chart. I mean, just the discrepancy between Qs and SPY is caused by Nvidia. Okay, not just Nvidia, but it's also a little bit of AMD, a little bit of SMH, right? But Nvidia is the top player. And look at the look. I mean, this to me is like, I love this stuff because I know what's going to move the market today is the name that's relatively weak, and Nvidia is the name that's relatively weak. And I think if you start seeing this rebound today, like you see this chart hold support here at 168, you're going to see 174 on Nvidia. And what's that going to cause the S&P? It's going to cause S&P to rally today. So if you're trading SPY today, trading Qs, trading ES, but whatever you're doing, okay, keep Nvidia on your charts. Because if you see Nvidia breaking down under support today under 168, then maybe be cautious of going long in the market. But if you see the market, or Nvidia rather, maintaining 168, then that is your trigger to go long on SPY and look for longs back into to all-time high PDM mode. Okay, so what you should be watching for Nvidia today is watch to see if we can build back above 170. I think that's a very clear inflection point today on Nvidia. Okay, if we clear 170, we're going back into 172, 174. If you fail below 168, then we're going to go back into a new failure point, probably back into the next set of lows, which in the 1 hour time frame is all the way back in 165. Okay, so the clear thing to note is I don't plan to trade Nvidia longs. What I would do though is I would trade S&P longs on Nvidia strength. So if I see Nvidia reclaim 170, I could look and again, it, that's just a trigger. It's not going to tell me go long immediately. But if I see Nvidia reclaim 170 and I see SPY also maybe nearing a level or setting up long on its own individually, then that's a very high conviction long today on the S&P, and I can look for longs back in the highs because Nvidia is also reclaiming level. If you see this lose 168 though, I would be careful of all longs because this probably fails lower than 165 and it's going to drag the market down. What do you think about that, Rav? You have anything to add
I
there on this chart?
completely agree. The last few trades that I've taken on Nvidia, if you guys remember, I shorted like crazy 2 weeks ago. Maybe the whole week, all I traded was Nvidia shots around this 183, 184 level. Then the most recently I shorted this 180, 150, 182, and then I think yesterday or 2 days ago, was it yesterday? 2 days ago maybe, I shorted
Yeah.
this 172. All three swing highs, the top, the retest, and the failure of shorted Nvidia. I completely agree. If this loses, it's gone. One thing, there is one scenario that I want you guys to be aware of. If we do lose the swing low, and let's say it's all doom and gloom, I want you to watch for sweep of liquidity of this 164 level. Okay, so this 164, if they sweep it and something happens and they do another reclaim of 168 and another 170 reclaim or something like that, they could quickly invert this move. Okay, so just be careful. Like I said, like Brett says, if Nvidia is weak, you can use that as a sign that be careful on longs in the market. Nvidia, Apple can be your sign for that. Okay, but if these guys are chopping around and let's say the market's rallying, Nvidia can turn into weak name, turn into strong, and even start squeezing higher. Okay, this is the sign. If Nvidia needs to sell, if it's going to sell, it'll sell clear and obvious and never reclaim trend. If it's starting to show signs of recovery or if it's choppy, be very careful trading shorts on this. Okay,
Yep.
that's
Uh,
my idea today. I'm not going to trade Nvidia today. It's probably just staying away from this. It looks
Right.
kind of scary.
And even AMD, if you flip over to AMD for a second, and by the way, guys, you can use Nvidia as a market trade SPY, right? A lot of these things are this is important not just for traders who are trading options, but also for futures traders. Because if you see, Nvidia AMD beginning to fail today, then that's your trigger on ES shorts. Here at AMD, it's the same thing. Okay, so AMD has a big pivot here at 162, which happens to be the PDH, 162 PDH, and then also 158 PDL. Those are your two pivots today, literally PDH, PDL. Okay, 162, 158. If you see us fail below 158, That's a short that we've been talking about for 3 days in a row. Under 158, there was a short opportunity back into 150 because again, there's a low volume node between 158 and 150. But if you see us maintain the low today at 158 and see us rally higher back into 162 and reclaim 162, reclaim PDH, then we're probably going to see a squeeze play here back in highs. And I have no intention of trading longs on Nvidia or longs on AMD. I really don't have intention of trading these longs. But I would trade a short on breakdown, or I would trade longs on SPY if I see AMD reclaim and Nvidia reclaim. Okay, so AMD 162, AMD 158, those are your two levels today's session here on this chart.
Right, I
Rav?
completely agree. Yeah, no, I completely agree. This chart looks very similar to Nvidia, and again, for AMD, this is the like Brett said, PD the pre-low and the pre-high is the range to watch. The liquidity area is around 153. Okay, if we lose that, 147. And again, I don't think I'll trade AMD. I don't think I've traded AMD this year. Maybe once I did, but I'm not going to trade it today. I am going to go to Tesla next. We haven't covered Tesla.
Let's do
Now this
Tesla
is,
and Avgo.
oh my God, I gotta, I got too many levels here on this. I
That is
gotta clear this
crazy.
up.
That is actually crazy. Look at
Uh,
this chart, guys. You cannot let him do that to you. Look at, oh my God. How come nobody's saying anything about this? Holy.
hey, I'm making my money, so I'm giving you guys money.
Oh
So,
my God.
dude, I feel so,
Holy.
I feel so conscious when people come for my fucking
You might
chart.
as well just draw a big rectangle around everything.
But this just tells you how actively I trade it. Guys, hit the like button and subscribe button for more comedy. Uh,
That's crazy.
it's pretty pretty simple over here. This one, guys, they inverted this candle. I think this was yesterday's action, right? So this is the yesterday shot that we did around. I think was it yesterday? No, this was 2 days ago. 342 area. We had our first initial failure, and Thursday's action we kind of just faded, and then we reclaimed this move and we inverted this area. So my demand for Tesla is going to be 342. As long as we hold 341, 342 long. If we get a retest that is just long, have a tight stop. Simple as that. That's my idea today on Tesla. This does look good. I don't know if you guys saw the news. Musk compensation package, like some $1 trillion bullshit package. I don't even know what he's going to do with that kind of money. But anyway, so that's what they approved it. They're rallying this news. Just be careful. Tesla news. When good news happens, bad things happen. When bad news happens, good thing happens. That's the kind of thing Tesla always moves. But there is major squeeze risk on this. If they made me short, think about how many more people would have also shorted. I'm talking about not retail, but like really like big funds and whatnot. Okay, so they're inverting moves happening, so it's going against the thing. This can thing can like rally like a rocket. All right, so 350 on the upside, gamma squeeze. Today's options expiration. They have already activated that at the open, so I opened. This is going to rip. You can definitely. I think I'll trade Tesla today. I don't think I'm not going to trade Tesla, but there is a good entry. I'll signal it also. Okay, so for demand, 341, 342, 350 breakout is difficult to trade, but you can you see based on how we open, and you can probably take that as well. Okay, those are the two levels: 341, 342, and 350. Okay, Brett, you want to add?
No, no, nothing on Tesla. I think it's spot on. Let's do Avgo quick and we'll finish off with Avgo.
Okay.
So, guys, obviously Avgo earnings coming out. You guys probably saw the earnings. It was a pretty hefty beat on revenue, pretty hefty beat on earnings. I mean, just across the board beat. Several price target upgrades. You saw Barclays upgrade the stock this morning. The key thing to note though is we are at a new we're at a new level here on Avgo. Okay, this is just full all-time high, full price discovery mode here, full PDH or full PDM. Okay, so for me, when I look at this chart, I'm running fibs. So if I'm a fib trader, I'm watching 332, I'm watching 320. I know it's far away, but those are the only things I have here on this chart, especially 332. I know 332 is still far away, but that 332 is a 38.2% retracement. It is also that intraday 5 minute level that you're seeing on the pre-market session. Okay, so watching 332 today in Avgo, I know it's far away, but when you see fireworks like this, you don't want to just be you don't want to just long the first you don't want to just long the you have to long a pullback. Okay, this is a firework. Let's wait for it to come back to ground level, and we can look for longs at 332, longs at 320 if we get there. But again, let this pull back. Don't be a long at 352. And your question is where the hell are we going? Because again, we have no idea where we're going. But if you long at 332, then there is reasonable TA to say we're going back in highs. Okay, so watch 332 for longs. That's all I have today here in Avgo.
Guys, trade safe on AVG on any kind of sus names, okay? Look at options volume. If contracts volumes less than 100 or 200, don't trade it. Look at the spreads. If spreads like more than 10% wide, don't trade it. If you know what you're doing, do whatever, but be very careful trading sus names because when it goes in your favor, it can move. When it goes against you, you'll get absolutely crushed by the spreads and you're not going to be able to maintain those little cute 10% stop losses and all of that, okay? So just be careful. This is going to be Friday, 0 DTEs. It's up 15%. $45 is the range, okay? So just don't think you can have like little $1 stops on this, okay? Stick to easy things. This is good. When it moves, you'll absolutely kill it, but be careful, okay? Follow levels.
Yeah,
Any,
I think that if you're long Avgo, you're just a profit taker this morning. That's it. Okay, I
yep,
would stay away from it.
yep. They're probably just going to pin it. There are you guys can see it. They're popping it to 350. They'll probably get the 350s active, and maybe they'll go plus or minus $5 or $10. But just be careful, okay? Don't. You can watch the replay, El Tereso Charles, but yeah, just be careful, okay? Anything else before we wrap? I think it's 8:10, 9:10 here.
No, that's it, guys. Thank you all for joining in. I'll see you guys all for live trading. Bye, guys.
Yes, be careful, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe button. I'll see you guys on live and trade very safe today. Okay?